Hi everybody, it's Galactic Man Larry here again with another Marvel Legends action figure review, and today we have in front of us the whole Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure wave, which has been out there for over a year, or well, I'm saying over a year and I don't even know actually, but let's say like for about a year now or something like that. I just got it recently, bit by bit through Amazon, because the figures were like half price of what they were originally, and I was like, well, I think now is the time to get it. So we're doing a wave review, and it's of course a retrospective review because these things are not new anymore. But hey, if you're like me, that you wait a bit now with the raising prices, you know, that you don't buy everything right away just to save some money, you know, because that's how things are right now. Here we have Vulcan and Wolverine. Wolverine is the only figure that didn't come with a Build-A-Figure part, but it's Wolverine and it's part of the wave. Here we have Vulcan. We have done some reviews of some of the figures with the body that originally came with this figure. Let's check a bit of the artwork by David Nakayama. I really like the style of this, the style and the technique and the execution of this artist. There you have Vulcan, and if you want to read his bio, there it is. Pause it now and read his bio. Next in the line, in random order, is Darwin. There you have the artwork, there you have the bio if you want to read it. Really cool artwork, and that's the figure inside there. That I haven't taken this one off out of the packaging. Marvel Siryn. There you have her. There you have your bio. It's the last one I got because it was the last one to drop price here, at least here in Germany, at least. Very cool artwork showing her. I think she's like Banshee, right? Like she can shout and all of that thing. She's the daughter of Banshee. I'm just learning that myself right now. And yeah, there you have her. The face, no shouting face. They corrected that with the Banshee figure, with those great face sculpts. She looks nice, yeah, but you need the screaming face. What's happening? Next in the line is Maggot. This was, if I'm right, a whole new sculpt, or at least a lot of new sculpt. I think it was the whole figure, new sculpt. So that's good to have always. He looks cool. It's at least a less known character. The bits he comes with, the artwork is cool. There he is with his red eyes and the maggots. And the rest of the wave I haven't shown that. And there you have the bio. If you want to pause it, read it. Pause it now. Next in the line is Sabertooth. Look how cool he looks there in the artwork, again by David Nakayama. He looks beefy, he looks menacing, he looks great. And there's the bio again. Pause it and read it if you want to. And then you get this surprisingly unmatching figure that looks... it's not the thinnest body, it's not the body that comes with Darwin, for example, but it's still... It doesn't really match with this. This is much beefier, and the face, if you pay attention, is of course the fangs. That looks like, you can see the fangs, yeah, but he looks a bit, I don't know, I'm not totally convinced on this face sculpt. Technically is well made, but the end result, he looks a bit, I don't know, I'm not... it's like a Wilhelm Dafoe, but gone wrong kind of thing. There you have Havok. Using that body, many other figures have sported so far. He comes with nice effects, at least. For me, at least, is the first time I see those effects, so that's a plus. He comes with a couple of trash cans. And there you have Marvel's Havok. Great artwork again, and there you have his bio, Alex Summers, blah blah blah. Pause it and read it now. And that's it for the packaging. Let's take all of these people out of there and see how good they actually are. And there you have the whole characters from the Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure wave out of the packaging, with all their Build-A-Figure bits and their little extras or larger extras, whatever. You cannot say that this Build-A-Figure is super tiny. At least this part of it, the actual tank, part of Bonebreaker is it does take some space. This will be at the end larger than a regular figure, any of these. And yeah, actually, I mean, having gotten this wave for half the price, I feel satisfied with what I'm seeing so far. We'll go through each of these figures, of course. Let me take the stuff out of the way. Now, the actual characters you have to collect. First of all, let's do Vulcan. I mean, I'll just show him. He's been in some of the comparisons at the end of my videos. I'll rather link another review from a character using this body. I've done the Cyclops, I've done a 3-pack, and a Corsair, for example. I think I'll link Corsair, his fighter actually, supposedly, yeah. And there you have it, just some paint. It's the first figure with this mold, so it's a Vulcan mold. That face, let's take a look at that. That's something we can spend a little while. Nicely sculpted face. He does actually look a bit like his, yeah, they look like family, right? He comes with a couple of extra open hands. Those are nice for the expression and all of that. I won't equip them right now. I'll just have him there with the fists. That's the Vulcan figure. Next we have Darwin, which has become like a superstar in the community. At least if you follow the Anthony's Customs channel, you know as of now, I guess, of the tales of Darwin. And yeah, this figure is in that like pizza Spidey body. Sorry, it's dripping water because I put it into hot water. It has some stiff joints and all of that. But you can see the head can look upwards that far, and it breaks all the neck also downwards. He can tilt a little bit to the sides. The shoulders can go all the way around. Of course, he has, let's see, how was that? Not so spectacular, how do you say, a butterfly joint, but it does get to cross. I mean, to the front is actually better than to the back, this one specifically, which is unusual, but hey, it can do some stuff. The actual ab crunch is very limited unless you actually crunch the thing and risk breaking it, but that's backwards, that's neutral. I mean, backwards is almost nothing, and that's forward. One click would be nice if he could get a second click, but hey, that's the way this body is, an older body. Bicep cut, double jointed pinned elbows that can bend quite a bit, not all the way but quite a bit. He comes with a couple of fists equipped on the figure, and those are horizontally swiveled, they are as almost always. And he also comes with these specific to him large fingered hands, you know, which are nice and expressive. But yeah, I don't know anything about this character. I actually have to read the bio myself, but you can read it at the beginning of the video, of course. There you have he has a waist cut, and it's very nice. Of course, he can kick forward all the way. I mean, that's not a bad thing for this mold. He can kick backward a little bit. He can do that much splits. That's very limited. That's a bad thing for this mold. He has a thigh cut, double jointed pinned knees that can bend all the way. That's decent. I mean, that's good. He can bend backwards that far, forwards that far. I mean, the feet, and has a very breaky, but it will do the job, ankle rocker. Let's just take a look at that face before we go to the next figure. Yeah, that's unique to this character, of course. Next in the line, we'll do Sabertooth. Actually, I was very disgusted with the figure in the packaging. Having him in a pose, I can kind of let it be a little bit. Of course, I would like him to be larger. I mean, at least, you know, this Maggot guy has a larger upper body, is taller and all of that. Well, taller, I don't know. Let's actually put this guy in a neutral position. You can see he has some wash to his fur, which is good. Also here in the forearms, also the neck bit. The neck bit is just attached by a peg to the neck, of course, and it's something you can just remove. But then you have like just the base body, and it looks even less like Sabertooth. So let's put that back in. You just do really just like that, and it was very quickly, but it has a nice wash. I must give them that. They gave him a wash. The hair also has a wash, which is always good to have. Not all the figures, even in the same wave, I mean, it's the only one who has a wash on the hair, actually. I mean, the eyes are very apart from each other. You can see, like, sadly we have a lot of reflection, but you can see the teeth. They look weird from a distance, but if you get close you see all the detail. It's better to the bare eye that with this lighting, of course, but you can see what makes him look weird is those fangs, you know, because they're very thick. But actually the sculpt is really detailed. I don't mean that it's the best sculpt or whatever, but it is very detailed. That's what I mean. I mean, you like it or not. You have these hands with those claws, which are, I mean, it's good for Sabertooth. You need this kind of hand. It would have been nice maybe to also give him some fists, but they didn't. But hey, you have this. You can go doing your Sabertooth thing. Now the head can look up that far. It can look down that far. He can tilt a bit to the sides, a decent amount. I mean, it's on a ball hinge, but it has a little bit of lollipop, so he can tilt a little bit and turn all the way around. Of course, the arms can go all the way around. He can do a T-pose, but not more than that. He has a bicep swivel, can go all the way around. The elbows are pinned. This is an older body. Is that the Grim Reaper body, or which body is that? Please let me know in the comment section below. And by the way, if you're watching, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, because that helps the channel. You have a swivel for the hands. Up, I mean, it's a horizontal swivel. It's okay with this hand. He's not wielding weapons, so it's fine for this character. He has one crunch backwards. That's decent. One click forward. Or is it two? It's one click forward. We would need more for Sabertooth, I guess, but hey, it's better than some other characters still. He has a waistcoat, of course, it does the thing, but it's smooth, at least in this copy. Very little splits. That's not enough for Sabertooth, I would say. He can kick nicely upwards. It goes with a bit of an angle, but hey, he can do over 90, so that's good. He has a thigh cut, that's good. Double jointed pinned knees that can bend that far because of the fur, or even not, just because of the engineering. And the feet can go backwards just a little bit because of the fur again, forwards just a little bit because the thing gets in the way. And he has a good, actually it's a good ankle rocker, I would say. Next in the line is Siryn. First of all, she comes with a couple of fist hands with horizontal swivel. Let's just focus on those. Nothing we don't know. We know these hands already, these fists. There's a bit of controversy with this character, of course, because she's supposed to be a, you know, a shouting character. That's her superpower, and she has a very neutral face, which actually, at least in my copy, I really like this face. But of course, it's not enough for this character. We need a shouting face. I like the sculpt, and I like how the eyes and everything came out, so I cannot complain there. And the hair is very nice, but it's always in a pose. Hey, I like this head, and it's one of my favorites from the wave. I really like this cape thing, and I mean, she's visually, she stands out, you know, because of the cape thingy, which is not super high quality, but it looks nice just like that, you know. I mean, I had to put her in hot water, cape included, because the bicep cuts were frozen and the knees were frozen, and I have this plastic here. I don't know if you saw that. It makes a stress mark, and I mean, who likes that? No one, I guess. But so she has some stress marks already, but at least I paid half the price, so I'll be bragging about that. You can see by yourself the cape is very nicely printed, even if it's as very flimsy fabric, but hey, it's at least the print is okay. Prints here is also nice. She has a little bit of a spot there for whatever reason. The X is clean. The paint on the midsection could have benefited from a second, you know, from a thicker layer of paint. She has like a bikini here, okay, and sorry, and yeah, she just needed thicker paint here. I mean, at least the lines are clean, you know. She has these open hands that she came with the fists on, and I gave her these ones because I wanted to. I don't know, for now at least. Yeah, she has a peg holder in the back, and yeah, plain body. It's a Shriek body, if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. And of course, the things here on the wrists and on top of the ankles, those are separate pieces, and I like having them there, you know. She can look up that far. I think the hair gets in the way, of course, maybe, but that's the best I could do, at least for now. She can look down all the way, that's no problem. She can tilt a little bit, so she has a bit of, actually a decent amount. She has a bit of lollipop, but hey, at least it helps. And it doesn't look terrible from the sides, in my opinion, unless you do like this, and then it does look terrible. But anyway, I mean, you won't be looking at it like that, I guess. The arms, you have to maneuver a bit because of the cape. They can lift up over the T-pose, which is good, but you can mess the cape by doing so because of the hair and all of that. Just be careful with that cape, but hey, you can do that. She has a bicep cut, but I mean, you have this cape situation that's always gonna be on the way unless you just free the hands, you know, but then you have a little hole floating around. In any case, you can do that. Actually, double jointed pinless elbows that can bend all the way, that's good. That's the situation with the cape. I'll put it back on. Just yeah. She has a diaphragm, and only that can bend backwards that far, bend forwards that far. I mean, that is not bad. The problem is she only has that. I mean, that's still to the sides, and she can of course do some turning around as well. Nothing feels forced on anything, but it feels like you get to a limit, you know. The legs can lift that far. She can do that much splits, which is okay for this character, I guess. But I would like all of them to be able to do the splits, because we're talking superheroes, you know. She has a thigh cut like that. She has double jointed pinless knees, and they are tight, the upper part at least, and that's what gave me the stress marks. So she can bend the knee that far. The feet can bend backwards that far. You can see there's a separate piece. Forward that far before she clashes with that plastic there. But hey, she has a lot of range, I must say, and a decent ankle rocker. It's a good one, I think. And there you have her, Siryn, next to her father, Banshee. An example of the type of extra head she should have come with. Next we are gonna do Havok. I don't know from what year exactly or what time period, let's say like that, this look is from, or if it's like his very first appearance look. I don't know. Please let me know in the comment section below. But there you have him with this body we have seen several times. I think I'll also just link a video with this body type in case you want to check the articulation, because there are several videos already on the channel in which I've gone through this body mold, you know. But there you have him, his like sonic blast effects, or what's his exact power is like. It's not sonic, it's some kind of energy blasts, whatever, plasma, I don't know. Please also let me know about that as well in the comment section below. There you have, this thing is just dancing around, but hey, it gives a very plain figure that otherwise would just look like this. A very nice look. And of course, one of the main, or as many times with Marvel Legends, the main attractive or the main deal with this figure is that head sculpt with that kind of crown, hairdress, whatever you want to call that, and the print on the torso, which is very clean and it's very nice. Nothing on the back apart from that peg hole, so you just peg this thing in, and let's say that you leave it forever. And yeah, that's the look of this figure. I have nothing else to say, it's just a plain black body. And last but not least, we have Maggot, which, as I said, if I'm right, It's a whole new sculpt, or it was by the time these figures were released. I'm not sure about that myself because the legs have pegs, so maybe I'm just yeah, maybe the legs are not a new sculpt, but I think the torso and almost everything else, or at least a bunch of parts of this figure, are new mold. And yeah, he comes, I mean, for example, his accessories, which are the actual maggots or whatever these things are called, with 3 painted red eyes. They have their little, yeah, kind of mouth there, all those, I was gonna say feet, but I don't know, the extremities of this little thing. And it's of course a bit flexible because you need to roll it around his arm. This other one has this shape. I just put it on top of his shoulder like this, and that makes kind of sense. Yeah, you just decide. They're cast both in this like brown coppery color or bronze color kind of. And the actual figure, I mean the actual Maggot himself, you know, he has these like red eyes with yellow pupils. And yeah, I like how he looks. I mean, he has a funny amount of hair there in the front of the head. That's a separate sculpt bit, so you can also take that off if you want to. He has that funny grin. I mean, just by looking at him, I thought he was a villain. Actually, I don't know if he's a villain or like a good guy, whatever. I have no idea as of now. He's a character I know nothing about. But yeah, you also let me know in the comment section if he's a good or a bad guy, whatever. No butterfly joints on this guy. I like the sculpt, but they would have definitely benefited from a nice wash, but no wash on this guy. Still, he has a bit of paint applications, and they're nicely applied. I mean, they're almost spot on. The sleeves as well. Here for the gloves, I mean, the wrist part is painted. The gloves themselves are cast in that purple color. The fingers are painted on, and actually the color matches nicely with the arms, if I'm right. Yeah, also that part of the neck that's painted on, it's the whole upper torso is cast in white plastic. That belt is a separate piece, and it's nice. Yeah, it doesn't get in the way. I mean, you can of course lift it or put it down. I think it's keyed in there. It seems to me like it's keyed or glued on, whatever. It's kind of holding its position. But yeah, again, a nice face sculpt. I mean, if you like this blue guy, whatever. But he's a larger character, I mean taller, and he has these huge pads here, which are more like part of his like jacket. You can actually remove this thing. That's the way he looks like without his like coat on, and actually it doesn't look bad. I mean, that could just be the way the t-shirt is. Situation wise, the head can look up that far, can look down that far. He has a little bit of a lollipop situation, but actually I'm not angry with that. He has a little bit of tilt to the sides, can turn all the way around, of course. I don't know if this upper torso is new for this guy or if it was out there already. Anyway, again, let me know if you know more about this. The arms can go all the way around. They can lift up that far because of the way the shoulders are shaped. They just clash there, so that's as far as you go. You have a bicep cut that can go all the way around, no problems. Double jointed pinless elbows. These cannot bend that far because of the bulk of the bicep. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. That's as far as you can bend. If you use the lower bit to its full, that's as far as you can bend. Actually, I was wrong. The hands both have a horizontal swivel and can go all the way around. He has an ab crunch that can bend backwards all the way. I mean, it leaves a gap there, but hey, he can bend all the way back. He can bend all the way forward, which is also nice. I mean, it's functional. This ab crunch is a good one, let's say. Maybe not in the sense of gap edge. It has a gap even in neutral position. but it gives the movement. He breaks a bit in there, of course, on the waist, but it's not the worst ever. The legs can do that far splits, is not much. I mean, it's quite limited, but hey, yeah. I mean, I would prefer, of course, if he could do the full splits. I don't know why they keep doing limited hips, you know. He can kick forward that far. I mean, almost 90, and if you move the leg a little bit backwards, you can get it up to 90. You have a thigh cut. You have double jointed pin knees that can bend only that far because of the sculpt. Maybe I'm also, yeah, only that far. He has a boot cut, exactly where the boot is, and the feet can go backwards all the way, forwards, also all the way, let's say. And he has not the best ankle rocker, but it will do what it's supposed to do. Of course, if you're wearing the jacket, you will have much limited movement for the shoulders. I mean, these shoulder pads are flexible and they will move out of the way, but you won't be able to go all the way around. If you need that is also the question. But yeah, a nice, mostly newly sculpted figure. I mean, from a character I know nothing about, but at least it does stand out, definitely. Let's actually build the figure. I guess you first of all put this bit here, then you insert the actual lower part of Bonebreaker down here. Then, where does it go? This goes weirdly behind him. I mean, weirdly because, well, in my opinion, this should go not exactly just right behind his back, but anyway, that's the way it's done. Then we just click all together. There we have the lower bit, and that on itself could be like a thing, you know, like a tank. Of course, you're still lacking like some cannon, but well, you have this little bit here on a ball. Yeah, looks nice. Of course, it's lacking paint. It has a little bit of weathering here at the front, and that's it. So if it would have, I mean, weathering is like metallic, you know, like, well, yes, weathering, but it lacks weathering all around, and we shouldn't have to do that ourselves. But I mean, I think, yeah, if you have a little bit of experience, you can do that yourself. It has a bit of weathering also on the threads, well, the round bits of the threads, you know, not on the actual threads. But then we insert the actual Bonebreaker, you know, the actual upper body of this guy. I think that's it. It didn't even make any kind of click that I feel satisfied with, but hey, that's the way it is. Then you put the head on, and then you just insert these canisters. Weird that you have the bullet holes here to show, but you just put them here and you actually miss all of that detail. Actually, I'll turn this around, maybe like this. What would be better? So that done, then you just give him his machine gun here. He has both vertically swiveled hands, so that's good actually. And this gun is actually, it has a peg hole, and you can fit all the fire effects, but the peg hole is larger than the pegs on the fire effects I have, so they just dance around or fall off, which is a bit of a shame. Some of them do have a thick peg and stay there. This one stays there maybe by virtue of the peg being long, but hey, at least you can peg something here, and that allows you to do some actual firing, you know. And there you have the actual Bonebreaker figure all put together. I gave him one of my G.I. Joe classified series rocket launchers or bazookas from Bazooka. Note, this guy also comes with a couple of fists, but yeah, I'll have him more like wielding weapons all the time. Actually, let's just take a look at those, just that you can say that I actually showed them. They have horizontal swivels, everything is holding in place. You can actually Maybe we can just put a couple of fists in here. That's it. And of course, he has no legs. The threads have no wheels. This thing can move all the way around. It's in a ball peg. And cool thing is you can just plug a 5mm, 5mm. It's not a 5mm, but one of the Marvel Legends Iron Man blast effects. It's what I had in hand, so that's why the weird color mix there. This is one from Ironheart, I think, so that you can see how that looks like. Or you can, this is from one of those cheaper figures. It's super exaggerated, but hey, and it's flat somehow, but you can keep this. Actually, it looks good like that, maybe. But yeah, those are options. And again, the machine gun has a peg hole that it's slightly larger than the G.I. Joe classified effects. This guy can turn on the waist here, but it's super clicky. Just make sure that you hold him down while turning. Again, it's super clicky. I don't recommend to be turning him the whole time. Yeah, you can go around, but I'll just leave it like you see that it just snaps off. I like having him like this. Oh god, I don't like that click. It's super scary. The arms can go all the way around. They have a bicep swivel, double jointed pinned knees, elbows can bend only that far. He has a little bracelet on the forearm. The trigger finger hands luckily are both vertically swiveled, so that's good. He has an ab crunch that can crunch forward that far. It can crunch backwards that far, so you can have him aiming and firing. But you can leave the sunglasses there. You have this very funny face. It looks a bit like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, in my opinion. Cool mohawk, no wash, but hey, at least it's a cool different hair. Let's take a closer look at that face. You can see how the mouth is very nicely made. It's a gaping mouth, has a tongue. He's enjoying himself, being a redneck hillbilly, whatever. In any case, this guy is it's a cool figure. I mean, and the head, of course, can go upwards and down. He has a little bit of tilt to the sides. Hey, he has a little bit of expression there, so that's cool. I mean, it's a wacky character, and he's an easy target, in my opinion. I mean, Wolverine can just slice him, or Cyclops can shoot at the upper torso, or whoever who can blast from afar, just boom, blows him off the tank, unless he's super he has some healing factor, or like durability or something. But yeah, a cool looking character. And that's it for this wave review. I mean, this is a wave I wouldn't have gotten for regular price, but having paid around half the price for each figure, I am really enjoying it. I'm glad that I completed it. I'm very happy with this build-a-figure. Again, having paid half of the price for the wave, it feels good. Had I paid full price, I don't know, maybe, of course, I would have been much more like strict and more like, I mean, you have a couple of almost plain bodies with some paint, which is not new for Marvel Legends, of course, I mean, for the comic versions. But again, for the price I paid, I'm actually very happy with the wave. It's very important that you keep that in mind for the half price, because that's a key element, and I cannot accentuate that enough. So again, I really like them, and actually I think these 3 are the ones I like the least, and these 5 are the ones I like more. But I like all of them. I just think, I mean, Darwin and Havok for me are a bit like the weaker ones because of the so overused body molds. I mean, Sabertooth is also not a highlight, but somehow I'm enjoying posing this guy. And yeah, you can tell me whatever about Siryn. Of course, we needed the shouting face head sculpt, but I like how she looks, even if it's a huge lack not having her with a shouting face. I hope we get that shouting head sculpt somewhere, somehow, at some point, you know. I don't know, they can botch it somewhere maybe. Or they will just sell us a new Siryn, you know, and that's bad. But I don't know. I don't know what's the exact solution. They should just include the head sculpt in some set. I don't know. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.